and from a different camera. Because the camera that I'll be posting online, it'll be a different camera, which is the one that everybody's gonna see on a better view with the whole decor much more better. You know, this is more of the interview style. Like I'm trying to figure out like how I can actually or get another webcam in order for all my guests to look at me on a different camera. And you know, like I'm
sure you can do it with like a stream deck or something.
I actually do have the stream deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would be with like some stream deck device that you can just be like, okay, switch camera.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. You know, like when you and me are talking, you don't even notice that. This is just my regular camera. Why not? But when either I or you talk, I'm with the stream deck just switching around. You know, that's how I managed to do it because obviously I'm a one-man army at this point. You know, so I do everything at this point. So like I gotta learn how to do everything. So like later in the future, when this thing gets picked up and it goes off, it goes on a takeoff. You know, I could probably have enough expenses for me to cover somebody to do all this job for me.
Yeah, exactly, a technician.
Yeah, but in the meantime, this is all me, man.
This is chilling though. You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Been working on this on over a year. And I'm just
grinding.
Yeah, just grinding, man. Basically, that's all I'm doing, man. Just grinding nonstop. Nonstop because that's how you gotta do it, man. Back to the basics where everything started. And obviously
you gotta build that habit.
Yeah. It's just not the same as when it was back then when I was coming up as a bass producer here in Miami.
Yeah, I've actually seen you live like way in the past.
Oh no, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, like, which shows?
Yellow Claw. That was my first ever rave. I was 16, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 22 now. But yeah, it was funny. I was like, when I saw, I was like, hell yeah, dude, this would be awesome to like talk to you and shit.
Oh,
I think you were back to back Audigy and stuff.
Yeah.
I was on the rail, bro, and it was my first ever event.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, dude, if I got a couple of after movies of that show, so if I send you some of them, can you spot yourself in?
Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely.
Bro, I got your number now. I'm gonna say, yo.
Yeah.
What about this?
Sure,
this is you? Is there any of these is you?
For sure, bro. Do it. Let me know.
Yo, that's pretty cool, man. So you're my first fan here, man.
Really?
I mean,
I don't think you haven't played anything in a while, right? You've been, like you said, you've been mainly focusing on this.
The last time I performed was Borgor 2017. That was my last time.
Was that also a cinema?
Yeah.
I was there too.
You were there too? Were you there in my set as well?
I don't remember. Like, I don't even remember the local support lineup for it because I think they just put up Borgor and then like the main room names. Right. I would always try to show up as early as possible to be like the first one in. Because there, if you don't at cinema, if you didn't promote, they would hold the lines.
Oh yeah.
So you would like have to like rail the line, like be there first.
I hate when sometimes these promoters actually do that for in any show. It doesn't matter any show or festival. I don't think festival really matters that much. But I will say shows too. I'll put them all in that category because like shit, man. Some of these locals actually really did work hard just to get to that spot. And that was the only spot that they can, perform, and you're not letting everybody in early because like, I don't know.
You just want to make it look cool. You want to make it look popping, but it's not popping.
That's one of the things that's one of the tactics that I learned as a promoter.
We can talk about that on the podcast if you want to. Like I said, no fear, bro.
Bro, have you ever seen any episodes of mine, man?
I've seen like one. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember popping up on your thing. That's why I said I thought I followed you already because you popped up on someone else's story and I clicked it. And I was like, oh he's doing podcasts now. Cool.
Yeah. Basically, so let me give you like a little brief introduction of what the podcast is all about, because I don't mind repeating myself, especially to new people who are coming in so they can actually understand why I called you into my guest. Sometimes I got people here from our realm in the EDM side.
I've noticed that you've had different types of like, not just EDM or even musicians. You've had like past like different types of people.
Yeah, before I had like a famous YouTuber who's a friend of mine, a filmmaker from Ireland, and not too long ago, a very famous cosplayer, which she's like one of the biggest out there.
Yeah, you know? I saw you posted that one recently.
Yeah,
that's the one that was like, okay, that's more than just EDM artists, like you said.
Yeah, basically, I'm trying to tackle the whole entertainment industry as a whole.
Do everything. That's like more people you can bring on, as opposed to like, at some point you're with DJs, you're gonna be like, who do I want to bring next? You know?
Basically, you know, because obviously I can talk about EDM all day, every day. But then again, if I do that, I feel like I'm limiting myself, you know? Because then because then it'll be just, it's all about EDM and that's it. Like I feel like I want to expand my horizons a little bit and not just talk about EDM. Granted, there's definitely going to be more episodes me talking about EDM stuff than other stuff because obviously that's where I started. That's how I got in my foot inside the music industry.
Exactly.
But that being said, I decided to do other people because it's interesting to listen in other people's progress and their come-ups and how they get into the position where they are right now. And it's very cool to find out that we all have similarities out of it, like how we all started and how we're going through, how we're grinding, how we're getting to. So it's like, damn, like if there's some similarities to me trying to come up with and other people's trying to come up, let's talk about it, you know, because that just gives you like, see guys, insight, it doesn't matter which industry you get in. It's all the same. You just have to.
You can't just join some shit and be like at the top immediately.
Right.
You know, you work year after year. I mean, if you do blow up, like the few people that do, like after the blow up, like everybody kind of stopped paying attention to you.
Right. Basically, man. So in this podcast, we basically talk all my experiences of me as an audio engineer, as a music producer, as a DJ that's ever challenged me in my life. So everything that I've done, everything that I've seen, everything, I basically talk about it here in this podcast because I make this podcast specifically made for people like you know, up and comers, you know, they're trying to grind into that, they're putting their name out there, you know, people that don't pay attention to you guys, you know, and letting you guys know like, yo, this is all the information that I know that I've received. I'm giving it to you guys for free. It's that simple. You just look, learn, and, you know, do this and do that. Don't do this, don't do that. Just guide yourselves out and, you know, just talk about stuff like that, you know, because I remember when I started as a music producer, I didn't have anybody to tell me all the mistakes that I committed.
Yeah.
So and I wish I had somebody that could have told me ahead of time. It's like, hey, be careful when you do this, or hey, don't trust this guy. Yo.
Yeah.
Don't do this because it's gonna.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, bro. Because people may not believe this, but in the industry, in this music industry, much more particular, there's a lot of snakes out there, you know. And
I know.
It's a shark frenzy, and most of the time is every man for itself, you know.
Definitely.
And it sucks. It sucks because this is supposed to be the part in which we're supposed to build a community with each other and look out for each other for some of these scumbags out there that are trying to take advantage of us, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, sometimes people want to sell their soul to the devil, you know, and they make a pack and then, you know, like, oh, you know, and then they just look at you like, whatever, you know, whatever. Like, that was me in the past. I'm no longer that. I'm this now. So you got to be on this level if you want to talk to me. And I'm like, damn, that's what's up.
A lot of people are like that.
A lot of people. And people don't really realize to the extent. Yeah.
To the extent.
Basically, to the extent. So that's where I come in here and puke out every dirty little secret that I know, you know, even because there are times in which you're out there and you're doing networking, man, and then you found out some stuff that you wish you should have known. Or you should have never known. Or they look at you and it's like, oh, you're here? You should have never saw this, okay?
Yeah.
And that's how it was with me. Most of the time I just find out some stuff and I'm like, damn, that's how they move. That's how it is. I was like,
yeah,
that changes my whole perspective of the industry. And then it just, in a way, it just like, open up my third eye or some shit and saw like the ugly truth to all this, Like,
it makes you realize that really you're on top, like you're past that shit and they're not.
Yeah. Like, do you know any like ugly truths that you wish like you didn't knew or you weren't aware that that's how it moves?
Yeah, many times. Especially like, I mean, I don't want to say I've been around for a minute because my first show was that Yellow Claw show, but I think I started like exploring more like the local scene, going to not only headliner shows and like before I even entered the scene, I like produced, but I was like very like beginner and I didn't know anybody. I was still like in high school even. That was probably, I graduated 2017, so probably 2018 maybe I started talking to like a little more people, but it takes a lot of talking and a lot of like actually making friends like throughout the years to even get like up there. And yeah, like there's a bunch of shit that I've heard that, or even I've even seen that I was just like, I really wish I wasn't even here. Like you asked,
Yeah, boy, do we know. I remember there was this one time that I was sitting down with one of the promoters and they were telling
me. It's always with the promoters.
Oh my God. I mean, no offense to my homie promoters like Lucho and Pepe. Shout out to those two guys, man. It's because of them
they're killing it.
Because of those guys is I managed to be where I am in the sense of like I managed to meet people, got to network, show me the road, show me the truthful side of this industry, and I give them a lot of credit, but I know because a lot of people talk smack about them, but unless you work with them, you would never know.
Especially like where I don't know so much about Lucio because I never like. I at some point like I do speak with some of the Apex people that like the people that actually run like Treehouse day to day, like Allison and this dude that's doing that Tech House side duo. I always forget his name. But yeah, like I talk to them. They book me every now and then. They're actually really good people. If you actually talk to them, a lot of people are like, "Oh, they didn't book me, yada yada," and it's like, well, maybe it's because you didn't actually talk to them and like introduce yourself. You just kind of shoved yourself on top of them, and I noticed that a lot. And then that's how people get like bad mouthed and stuff like that, and that side of things. But I know more of Pepe's side because he's been like posting more about it. But I know 100% it is not easy running a festival. It is not easy running a festival at all. Like starting it from the ground up, like and that man is grinding.
And to be able to pick up was able to be picked up by one of the biggest companies out there, festivals in the world. Like
that's, I think in EDM right now, one of the best things that can happen to you is being in Insomniac's eyesight.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And that shit's now a hit.
Now it's a hit, bro.
I've been there since year one. Actually, I've performed there year 1, year 2, and year 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Congratulations, man.
Thanks. Slowly getting like a little bit higher. That's how it is, though. You kind of like you just talk to these people.
Yeah.
You make friends. You can't just expect like someone that doesn't even know you to give you an opportunity when you're shoving them, like you're shoving yourself in front of your face.
And I think that's like one of the biggest problems in which some of these newcomers, like they don't know how to approach them. So that's how they fuck up from day one, like from day one, like that's it. And then you will never get booked. And then forever you're like, oh, everybody's a scumbag. You can't trust these. It's like, wait until you gotta book me again for when I'm big, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, dude, they ain't gonna happen.
When you're talking like that. Not when you're talking like that.
Nah, bro. Like, hey, and let me tell you, like, I've got booked bad slots as well, and not once.
Oh, of course, dude. It's pretty impressive because, like, for example, this year, I played the local, the art car thing that they had. I don't know if you were there.
No, I couldn't be there, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the art car. I played on that, and last year I played on the big actual, not like the main stage, but the bigger local stage, not because they had also the one where you have to wear headphones, silent disco.
Oh.
And then they had like a medium size, kind of like the club cinema stage. They put that on like the side, and that was like the bigger local stage, I guess.
Oh.
So like from going from like opening at the hangar before they even open it, because you know it's like doors at 9, but really nobody can get inside until 10. So that first opener plays to nobody except for their +1 and the promoters.
Yeah,
that was me.
Damn, bro. I mean, I sympathize you. I sympathize you. If you remember,
I'm sure you've definitely been there.
Oh, bro, like
you've been there. You've been in the high moments, the low moments.
Life
everybody have. If you're humble and you like, you do your time, you get there.
Absolutely. I'll tell you the 2 instances in which it was like kind of to me. It was like Life in Color 2017 after party. It was, the lineup was me, Blunts and Blondes, Nitty Gritty, Bonnie and Clyde, and Dr. P. That was the lineup. And I was literally the first one. And I opened up just for my buddy, my other buddy who happens to be the engineer for Space. And that was pretty much it until Blunts and Blondes came along. And then there was like 5 people dancing on my 5-minute set, and that was it. And the other one again in Space,
put that into perspective too. Look where Blunts and Blondes is at right now.
Yeah, I mean,
and Nitty Gritty and Bonnie and Clyde.
I don't like
all of them.
I don't like to talk much about Bonnie and Clyde because
I don't know much about them. All I know is I feel like they just ditched Florida.
Well, they blew up from Florida. They're not from Florida. But at the
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're.
I thought they were from Florida.
No. Daniel's from Virginia, I believe. Something like that. I know they're not from here. I don't know where Paige.
I know they're in LA now.
Yeah.
LA now.
But I would never compare like Bonnie and Clyde's. Here I go talking some saucy shit. I would never compare their success with Blunts and Blondes or Nitty Gritty. And shout out to those two,
course.
Because Nitty Gritty is one of my closest friends, and the fitness is, I know exactly.
You want to know what's funny?
What they've gone through. So like,
I don't know what they've gone through. Because I feel like that was before my local time. I guess that was like a whole wave of different people. I feel like every couple of years, it's like, okay, these are like the new set of DJs, and like the last set of DJs that were really good are like actually like the on top guys now. Like you're getting direct support most of the time, and that's how it kind of goes. At least in Florida, I don't know about the other states, but in Florida,
it's similar. Like it's similar to other states are just pretty much the same. Like the headliner is the one who has the biggest name there, you know.
Yeah,
and then you got the smaller ones, which is the locals, and most of the time. It goes like that, for the smallest to the biggest. That's how normally how it would start, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But then,
but the thing about those guys, about Bonnie and Clyde, is that their success was always a fake, was a mirage. It was never a real.
I caught on to that too. Like fake followers,
fake music. Like the music, it's not even being produced by them. It was ghost produced, but I can't say who because I don't want to put them out there, but I know who they are.
It's fine. I know how it goes.
Yeah. And the thing that make me mad, well, there's like a lot of things that make me mad about them, but one of them happens to be that, like they were starting out, but it wasn't more because of the money. I mean, it wasn't because of the how good they were. It's more about the money wise, it's like,
yeah, they're like, they're a good look.
They're a good book, so we'll pass you like a couple of G's to you guys to book them, and then you get that investment back afterwards. And then
exactly,
and then obviously it got to the point.
I would never for a set. Yeah,
never. That's a hell to the no. And I will tell this to every single producer or DJ who wants to perform there: never pay, Never pay for your slot. Never.
It's supposed to be the other way.
That's how it's supposed to be, bro. They're the ones who are supposed to book you, whether it's free or whether it's, you selling tickets or, they're paying you. That's the only way. You shouldn't be paying them.
Yeah, that's no.
That's a hell to the no. But obviously, when you're paying
that's industry plant vibes.
Yeah, when you're paying them, obviously they're not gonna say no because it's like what? Free money for me? Just to put you on the lineup and put you like as if you were a headliner? Fuck yeah, let's go. All right, here you go. Here's your show. Blam.
Here's your little asset folder. Post that whenever you feel like it. You're good. Thanks for the money,
bro. Yeah, basically, man. That's how it is. That's why I never liked them from the get-go. I didn't like how they did dirty to Needy's manager because they used to be all in that same management. Yeah, Paul Campbell, man. Yeah.
I've met Paul once and Nitty once, like when they were doing Mammy Music Week, the news shows, when they did it at McCheesius, I think it was. I don't know if you know my boy Don Flock. He used to go by Sigfig.
Sigfig, yeah, he's the skinny one, right? Because now there's a duel.
He did a duo with one of our boys too, but then they just like kind of decided to do their own separate thing again.
It's the skinny guy.
Yeah, he's told me like when he got booked when it was just him, he got booked to play for that new show and Nitty was playing it. Or no, I think it was Blunts and Blondes. Like it was a very, very like imagine like a patio of like a coffee shop and they were just doing like a bass show there.
Yeah.
With like new like management people. And I got to talk to them. They were pretty cool people.
Yeah.
I thought they remember me because that was like way back and it's like a small show, but everybody was getting lit and all that because it's Miami Music Week.
No, of course. No, well, you gotta also remember, like these guys travel all the time. Then they meet people all the time. And so if you don't talk to them
every day, they're with someone new.
Yeah, every day is someone new. So if you don't talk to them that often, they'll tend to forget. It's not in a malicious way. It's just that normally that's how it works. And especially if you guys were drinking and getting lit.
Yeah,
yeah, bro. The next day you'll be like, "What the fuck just happened last night?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, but
they're cool people.
No, they're great people, amazing people. I mean, they fucking put my boy out there. They put everybody like they're full supportive people.
Yeah,
and I don't like when people do dirty on them because it's like, dude, that's not fair, man. Like these guys are literally going against industry standards. They're breaking the mold, and all their artists are breaking the mold about it. And when Bonnie and Clyde basically like tear out the contract because it was done, and they decided to go with Nightmare's manager Will Runsell. That's some fucked up shit, man. Because Paul basically put his blood, sweat, and tears for you guys, and
now you're just like, wow.
Yeah, basically like
and his face too,
and his face because basically. He made you guys. Like, he made you. And now that you guys are taking off, kind of like...
Actually, speaking about new... do you want to start it already? I feel like we've been...
Hell yeah, let's start it. Whatever. No, we've been starting a long time ago, man. That's how we roll it like this. Hell yeah, bro. This is how we do it, man.
Yeah. I was going to say, it was this duo. They played... Also, when Sigfig was a duo... They played at Space and it was for Nonsense, I think, or something like that.
Nonsense, yeah, they're the trio guys.
Are they still around? Yeah, it was 3 people, not 2 people. I stopped following them after a while because I couldn't, like, I just wasn't keeping up with their music, and I was like, as much like I just don't really listen to your music, so I'm just gonna unfollow you. No offense.
No, of course. I mean, there's nothing wrong about that. I mean, if you if you don't listen to your music, you don't fuck with it, or you don't fuck with how you used to fuck with it, that's fine. Like it's not it's not for you right now. So it's okay. To be honest, like I don't think they're no longer with Paul, and haven't heard anything from them like in a long time. And just like you, like I only followed you because you were at Paul's management team, and that's it. Like if you're no longer Paul's management team, I don't have no reason to follow you. I was just there to support and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, like I don't know, like those trio guys, like I mean I met them. They're pretty cool dudes, but outside of their music, I don't know nothing about them. And I don't know if they're still around. I don't know if their music is still going on. And it's funny because just the other day I listened to one of their remixes and I was like, oh, dope. I was like, oh shit, Nonsense. Like, yeah.
They had I think their music was pretty good for what they were doing too. I think they were doing like Jersey or something like that, but like a different type of like.
It was like, it's like
trap.
festival trap,
Yeah. All I know is that one time that I saw them at Space, like it was popping. Like they had that crowd moving. I was like, dang, this is like pretty good. And my boys opened up for them and it was like already lit from the start.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean,
always supporting your friends, bro.
I mean, it doesn't take you a lot just to support your homies, man, and any of the locals.
You don't even have to go to a show. A simple like or a comment, or like if you're on Twitter, retweet it, like anything, bro.
And that's
always helps.
And I hate that sometimes that you're not even asking much. You're just asking to like, hey, just like and comment and share,
Yeah, like if you fuck with me and like you fuck with my stuff, like if you can, like if it doesn't, which it doesn't take much, like
it doesn't take much. It's like it doesn't take much of your energy or time. Yeah,
that's why every time, because when you're on like Instagram, you're just like going through all the stories or whatever.
Yeah.
When I post like a new song or show, and I see like a homie that like I don't even like ask, hey, can you post this or anything like that? Like just a homie that actually genuinely like cares and support. Like I'm like, oh my god, like thank you, like you didn't have to do this. I appreciate you a lot. Like every single time, because like it's always I'm like, oh shit, that's like me on this someone like else's like story post or whatever.
Yeah, man. Like, and I do that.
It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it's a meta because I know how it is. We know how it is. And I do it automatically. Like any person that I support, I just look at their posts. It's like automatically like you get a like automatically. I don't have to even think about it. And if it's something that's very cool or is like, congratulations on some sort of achievement, I'm definitely commented. I was like, yo, that's fucking like, fire. Like, yeah.
And the even more important thing about it is now with social media, like there's like shit like algorithms. So it's like if you comment just like, yo, like a simple this is dope, like fire, anything like that much like engagement on a post will get that post on like someone else's like front page.
Yeah.
That they follow. It's kind of shitty that it's that way, but like, it helps out so much when other people do that for you.
Yeah, basically, man, because it doesn't take you that much, and the algorithm for some reason just always wants,
it prefers what's in favor.
Yeah, whatever is on fire, what's trending, what's popping,
it's
and
literally exactly what's trending. Who's the most popular person in this select like mutuals?
Yeah, man.
And what you're following.
Because the fitness is that's what's gonna put like on the top. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's what's gonna be on the top. And if it's not that popping much or it's not that trendy much, it's gonna be on the lower tiers. And not everybody's gonna go be scrolling all the way down just to find you.
Exactly.
Unless you like give them that notification bell and be like, oh shit, this guy posted. Let me see. Holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah. Or if you're just like casually like. I mean, it depends on how many people you follow, because if you're following a lot of people, even then, what are the odds? Unless it's like someone that you actually like, you send memes to or something and you interact with that account. But other than that, like, it's different.
It's very different. And it's very different how it was back then when I was starting up, because back then when I was started on like this whole social media aspect, I think it was like the beginning of it's a must for you to have social media, for you to
that was the beginning of a lot of death of a lot of DJ careers. Like if you didn't have social media, how was anybody going to keep up with anything?
Yeah.
Unless you got like news articles or like, EDM.com to cover you, something like that. And whatever it was before EDM.com, because obviously that was like something that came along the years.
Yeah.
But like, even then, I mean, back then, don't get me wrong, people would actually check those articles, but like something like that, like now, like you wouldn't be able to survive. Like there's no way.
Yeah, no, bro. Like today,
like even if you post at least like once a month, you're good. You're chilling, like post on your stories and stuff like that. But if you're not posting at all, like in this day and age, unfortunately, you're just not gonna be there. Like everybody wants to know what you're doing, especially when they really like you. Everyone wants to be on top of what you're working on, like this and that. Like even if you just post like a photo shoot photo, like just like, oh, I was at the park today, like people are cool with that.
And
like,
it's unfortunate, bro, like because now is like is a must as as a talented person, you know, because before it was like all you need is the talent. Yeah, you need to have the talent. Now is like, do you have social media? How much do you pull on your social medias? Oh, what's the leverage? What's your following? How many times you post? And on top of all that, you say you're a producer. You're a producer. Oh, do you mix? Do you master? Do you do vocals? Like, can you do this, and that in this short amount of time? Like the demand today is just insane, bro. Like, forget about the talent.
Everybody, when bigger management companies and agencies are looking for artists, it's kind of like a catalog for them. They're like, what's actually like, what can you bring to the table? Which I understand, because when you get to like an agency or like a management company like Slay All, you know, you have all these crazy good artists like, you know, Getter and Sudden Death and all that. You can't just accept anybody, you know? Or even if you want to go beyond that, like record labels and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
Which is like a big topic.
Oh, man. That's a huge topic to talk about, and we can cover it right now, man. Thing about record labels is like, it's what you say. Yeah, like record labels will not even look at you unless you're popping, unless you're trendy, unless you're, you know, your music, it's being played off constantly by various people or even people from your own, you know, roster, you know?
And I think that's the secret technique is if you really want to get on said label, like a specific label, like let's say you want to get on Never Say Die, then start with like sending your track, maybe not even to like, you know, don't go straight to Sudden Death, like looking for his email online, because, you know, maybe he's already getting bombarded, but look for like, I don't want to say lower tier, but maybe an artist that doesn't have that much spotlight but is still playing shows. And then you like someone that is more likely to actually reply to you, I guess is a better way of saying it, like DMing them on Instagram and Twitter properly, or maybe you like find their email and you properly send them out an email. And you like try to like actually like, you know, not be like send SoundCloud link type of thing. Not even a hi. You like get an artist to play your song, and like if they actually like it, they'll play your song, obviously. And a label will catch up on that. Like, you know, let's say I send my song to anybody on Never Say Die, and whomever really likes it and actually plays it a lot, and the crowd really likes it a lot. Like it's like, you know, one of those fancy like videos that they always get because like maybe the song's like you know catchy or something, and they got it on camera. Like that's where like you get like a label's attention, like a really good way.
I feel like you've watched my podcast before, because those words
really I
because those words
it's just experience, man. Talking to other people.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening from his words, you know. I'm the one who's saying this type of stuff, but it came from you. And the fact that it came from you, that you're one of these up-and-comers that's right now grinding hard and getting there, it shows you like how open-minded you are, and how like aware you are with what's going on and how to approach certain things or certain labels per se, you know. You just basically hit the nail in the coffin about that part. And
I guess another way is even like if you know, like if you got a homie that also is a producer and like maybe talks to like an artist, you can be like, yo, like if you guys are ever like sharing music, or like, you know, if there's any way like you can ever like help me out, like put me like in contact, or like pitch my song to this person, like let them know like for feedback or something like that. Not even like, yo, can you play my song out? Like just like genuine feedback. Yo, what do you think about this song? Like my friend wants to know, he produced it. You feel me?
Bro, you're just sending out more nuggets out there, man.
And I try to tell that to a lot of like my actual close like DJ homie friends that are like on the same level or below or even above me, but like, you know, like I'm just like, I see you doing things that if I was at your level, I wouldn't do, because you're like, don't go off to that side. You feel me?
Right.
You know?
Bro, like, and that's one of the number one mistakes that a lot of these up and coming producers, some of them who don't have talent, but a few that do have the talent, that they have like holy shit, that this guy can kill it.
This
like
guy can spin.
Like he can spin. Like this guy, like why is he not being discovered? And I have interviewed some of those guys here in this show. You know, like the mistake that these guys didn't do, but others that many have, is that they immediately send an email directly to the label. Like they send to these like demo submissions or demo links,
yeah, like
to
the email or whatever.
Yeah.
I've only ever got like, let's say this one time I sent my song, that the last song I dropped, Dream State. I sent it to like 6-7 labels. I got, I think, one reply just saying, hey, sorry, like we actually have too many demos to even listen to this demo. Like, try sending music another time. And then another label said, yeah, I was like, damn. I mean, it's a new label that's been popping off. So I understand. And like my music, I don't want to say my music wasn't in style, but I can see why, like, if anything, they would push it back. But they were saying that they wouldn't even listen to it because they were bombarded with emails rather than, I guess, letting me wait a million years.
I mean, yeah.
I guess it's like a two-edged sword type of thing. And then another label was like, hey, like, this isn't necessarily like something we would release right now, but it is a cool style and we'd love to hear like you send us more stuff in the future. And I was like, oh, this is like, I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how you build actually a friendship too with the label. And I feel like that's stuff that people need to know as well. Like, don't take that as a negative connotation.
I agree. But I will say that I've done sending demos to labels and I tell everybody to stop sending them because most of the time it's like what you say, that out of the 7 emails that you send, only 3 replied, and one of them told you is like, oh, we're not listening because it's demo full.
Yeah,
that's horseshit, bro.
That's horseshit.
That's horseshit because that's exactly what the A&Rs job. They're supposed to. They're supposed to.
If your label's that popping, then I would believe that your A&R is listening to music from 9 to 5.
And I mean, what else are you supposed to do? And let me tell you, some of these labels don't have one A&R to listen to. Like, they got like 4 or 5 people listening, bro. Yeah. And if they find someone that's dope, they'll be like, yo, let's meet up. Like, what about this song? This song dope? Yeah? No? All right, pass. I'll let them know. That's it. So the fact that they're telling me is like, oh, well, we got too much, like we can't listen, that's horse shit, bro. That's your one and only job. I mean, the name title says that, artist in relationship. You're supposed to fucking find the next, Justin Bieber shit in a way, like that's what your job.
Yeah, I think as of right now, like one of the best things you can do, like if you don't want to go the label route, which you honestly nowadays you don't even have to go that way, because if you can really sell yourself and like you have good music and you're good with like, like not just music but social media, and like at that point you're running like how to do everything type of thing properly, like you're actually on top of everything, you can self-release or release, like maybe you and your homies have like a label, which is actually what we're doing right now. I don't know if you know Powerhouse.
Yeah, of course. I was one of their founding members, to be precise. I used to be with Andres and Odyssey and Howard back then. We started together, and then I left a couple like months after we started Powerhouse, But yeah, I was part of that whole collective,
Yeah, I love them all. I'm still with them. We're still like kicking it. I've been literally they put me out there like more than anybody has. Like I dropped an EP when I guess entered the scene fully. I was actually ironically also like in SAE at the time. You're talking about Nitty before, and I was gonna tell you that
you're an alumni like us?
Yeah, I started SAE, and immediately after I started SAE, SoundCloud had those ads all the time with him about him talking about SAE. I was like, dog, I'm already here, leave me alone. Yeah, I graduated, I think 2018. I saw that you posted Frank Socorro that you
just not too long ago. Like last episode was Frank Socorro. Shout out to him.
He got me. I'm not engineering right now because the engineering world is just like out here, I guess, in Florida. I mean, it depends what type of industry you're doing. I was in the dubbing world, about like voice dubbing, voice dubbing,
like voiceover.
Yeah, like voiceover. I was in that type of industry because Frank helped me get a job because he put out my resume. And I got hired and I worked there as an engineer for 2 years. But the biggest problem is that it's the pay is just not good. and you have to stick around for a very, very long time for the pay to be good. And if you're going to be doing that as a 9 to 5, it's just, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I agree.
But I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, shout out him. He's like, and he actually, I mean, I am out of my class, which my class was actually like, it started with like, I want to say 28 people and it ended with 5 of us. Like we were like, my class in specific was like very like known for, I guess, like being like actually like professional and not like silly, I guess. Because a lot of people go to that school thinking it's like easy shit and they like
and then they
have to pay 500 for the class again.
Yeah, like, they like by the time is like what like 2, like that's where they start dropping out, man. I started with like 30 people or more, and then by the end it was just like less than 15. Imagine that. Or actually, I think my group happened to be one of the biggest because normally it's all the professors said the same thing. Like, you know, normally it starts like 50 people and then it ends up with 20 people or less, you know. And my group was probably one of those. Yeah, it was like 15 people that graduated because the projects was divided in half. Like seven people are in one group and the other 7 are in another group, and we all got to do those. You know, those.
And there's also day class and night class, so it's like I love the whole faculty there. Like all the teachers were great. I don't know what teachers you had. Mr. G was like, I was lucky enough to have him twice. Because when I was in Mod 3, they made him the Mod 3 professor.
No, I met just Mr. G when one of my homies was the technician, like for the labs. I used to go there a lot, and I met Mr. G when he was starting to become a professor. I'm pretty sure the only one out there besides Frank and obviously Dave Andrews, Dre. I mean, is he still there, Dre?
Yeah. I was there, he was a tech guy. He was funny as fuck.
he was my Mod 1 professor. He was actually my Mod 1 professor before the school setting decided to be all picky. It's like, oh, Dre, you don't have a bachelor. Like, we can't let you have teach. And that was like, and I remember there, it was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, he was when I was there, he was the tech guy, and he is very, very strict about his tech.
Yeah, I think.
And I respect it, bro. A lot of those kids, like I call them kids because there would be like 30, 20-year-olds out there that were like, they did not give a fuck. They were just there to like get fucked up and use the studio time and flunk. And
like, use that studio time to start doing their rapping careers, you know, just like I'm like, come on, bro. Bro, like,
dude, I knew someone graduated, but I'm not gonna put him out there, and if he ever finds this, I'm sure he'll laugh anyways. I'm not bullying him because we would always pick at him about this, but by Mod 4 this kid still didn't know how to sidechain.
Shut up.
Bro.
At that time, if Frank Rodriguez was still around for there, Frank will never let you pass.
Yeah, like, you don't know how to sidechain? Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, what the fuck?
There was like several, because it's a pretty pricey school. If anybody's listening, like, or watching this, like, it's a pricey school. Don't go to like audio school thinking, you have to actually really like that shit, not to like start your I'll end it at music career, not rap career.
Yes, yeah. Because
like if you don't go in there, for those schools you have to go in with knowledge, even if they start at like the basics.
Like those type of schools, it's more about, do you want this to do this for the rest of your life? Like, are you up for it? Like, is this really your passion? Then fucking go for it. Like, it doesn't matter how much is like, it gives you what, a year courses, and then you're ready to go to work in these companies. Like, go fucking do it, you know, obviously.
And even if you don't want to work for those companies, you can always, like, you have a skill set now that, like, you know, that you wanted to begin with, not like a skill set that you're like, oh, fuck this shit, you know? Like, that's what I'm doing now. Like, I'm not working at a studio, but I'm doing independent mixing and mastering. And like, if a friend needs me to record them, I'll go to their studio, I record them or their band. I'll be like, all right, like, you know, like that type of stuff.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I got a lot of credit to SAE, and I really appreciate that I really end up going to SAE. The only regret is I wish I could have gone to SAE before, you know, because I ended up getting myself a bachelor degree first and then go to SAE. I wish I would have found SAE first and not waste that much money on the bachelor.
I was halfway through college, and then I was like, do I really want to like do this right now? At least, like, because you can really go back whenever and like continue off or start if you haven't. There's always time to do school. But I was like, like this is what I really want to do. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna jump to this shit now and like full time this shit and I was honestly like, I don't want to say I was writing the best shit that I was ever writing when I was there, but it's because since I was, and when you're there, you're like around a bunch of creative people. It's not that you're not writing like amazing shit, like the best shit of your life. It's that you're writing so much good shit fast because you have so many creative people around you that are inspiring you, as opposed to like, I'm here in my room, I'm gonna spend like 1 hour, 2 hours like on this like kick.
I agree, bro. I agree. And that was like one of the cool things about SAE is like once I done with my classes, I'm just gonna go to the meeting rooms and just do music, because like if I go back home, I'm just gonna chill and not do shit, like, and I want to use my time to do something productive, at least something come out of it. And let me tell you, before I enter SAE, I only wanted to go to SAE so I can actually be a better producer. I did not want to do any of the other shit that they were telling me that I have to do or not. Like I just want to be great at Ableton. I want to be great at production and give these feedback to these professors so I can, ship it out and shit. I'm going to be the hottest shit ever. I'm going to be touring and shit and whatnot. That was my whole mentality when I came in. When I came out, my mentality was completely different.
100%.
100%, bro. Like, because I have to give props to that, because the fact that I came with the mindset that I'm only going to learn music production, and when I came out, I became like a very
everything. Yeah.
Very multitasking, bro. Like you can basically line yourself on any job that involves audio, bro, audio. And I told this to Frank about when he was my student advisor, because he was asking me, those interviews like, hey, so what is it that you want to do? And I told her like, yo, like I really want to pursue my career as a music producer, like as a EDM producer and shit and whatnot, And he was like, well, how about this? Like you said you've been DJing for like X amount of years. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay, so why don't you work for AV Tech? Like for one of these companies, like for Rhino, PSAV.
You're gonna see AV Tech. Yeah, I'm actually, I did join Rhino. And then immediately after I joined Rhino, I got that other studio job. And I was like, well, like, I don't want to do a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and then go bust my ass on like Saturday as a tech guy. Because you start with those AV jobs, like Rhino, you start from the bottom and you work your way up, which is like, I understand they're not going to let somebody they don't know be the guy on the soundboard day one.
Exactly. And because
especially if you don't even know like the bands or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm very open to music, so I really don't care.
No, I don't even mean to say like band per se, but I'm saying like a lot of these artists have their set guy.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to say, because most of the time there's some people that wish like I wish I'm not engineering or working for this. Like this is not into me. I'm not into this. And like Dre mentions a lot of time that he does a lot for for metal concerts, because that's his thing. He loves metal music. He loves listening to rock. Like he will do a lot of that. You will not see him do a reggaeton concert or an EDM concert or a rap concert, because that's not his thing. There's some people that are like that. Others like us, like me, I'm always open to anything. Like I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like if you're into EDM or rock or rap or reggaeton, I may judge you, but it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna do my job and whatnot. And I want to,
you keep that to yourself. You're like,
yeah, basically,
it's just a day in the job. Like, it's the hustle.
Yeah. But I gotta say, like, I actually enjoy a lot of AV, and to this day, I'm still doing AV, man. Now, I started as working at the Cleveland Hotel, and then as a low tier, and I basically did everything there, like everything, bro, from becoming a dancer liaison, an artist liaison, a LED tech, panelist, a LED wall programmer, a VJ, to setting up speakers, to setting up trusses, to setting up lights. Like, bro, like, tell me one thing that I haven't done, bro. Like, and because of that
makes you so much of an asset.
Yes, and because of that asset, because of that, all those tools and
who doesn't
experience.
Want the guy that knows everything and has known everything for a minute?
Exactly. And because of it, and those years of experience, it's where I managed to get my job where I am right now, which I work.
Hell yeah.
And I work there as a senior tech. So I'm one of the top dots in the department that I am working currently. And I do also some meetings and conferences and concerts and whatnot. And then obviously whenever they need something, it's like I'm just basically the one-man army that can do everything, and that's it.
Because you know everything.
Yeah, basically. But like I said, like, it's all thanks to SAE, because I would have never thought that I would end up doing this stuff, man. Or I would never thought that I would end up loving doing this stuff. I thought that because of the many years I've been DJing, like, I want to be a fucking DJ forever, you know? And I want to produce. I want to be like fucking Tiesto and Zomboy and shit like that.
That's what you love.
That's what I love. But at the same time, reality hits.
Yeah, and you're out of school and you're like, fuck, I need to pay this shit off.
Yeah. Like unfortunately, my music I cannot make money out of my music. So like, and I'm not gonna tour anytime soon. So it's like, fuck, how can I pay my bills? How can I pay my loan, my car, my rent? Like shit, how? Like AV. And if it's all because of all the knowledge that I learned from SAE, that I managed to use this asset that I didn't know I had it, and I didn't know that I really needed. I just so happened to have it.
I had the same experience. I can talk about my experience too. Like coming out of that, dude. So I was, like I said, I was leaving college, and not that I was leaving college. I guess I was more like putting at a pause. I'm thinking about going back into it, but like not. I was doing like straight out of high school, like 4 classes at a time every semester. You know, you're filling up your schedule with just classes. Yeah, and like if you're someone like you and I, sort of, I mean, you did the whole bachelor's, which is like cool. I have friends that like, you know, they continued it. I want to continue mine, but if you're like at the point, like, you know, you have a stable income, or like, you know, you're living with your parents, like that you're grateful about it. Like I am, like, thankfully I can live with my parents and pay all this stuff off. I took advantage of it, and I was like, all right, like, you know, I can do what I learned. You learn fast that that's not what you want to do, and you want to like actually pursue what you want, which is what I did. And I found out about audio school, SAE through one of my boys, James, who used to be one of the partners of SigFig, who now goes by The Hunted. I don't know if you've seen The Hunted on like social media.
Oh, I never heard of that. That's actually a very cool name, man. The Hunted.
Yeah, he's been putting in his work. He does like he does everything. Like he doesn't stop himself with production. Like he produces like our boys that are in bands and like are doing their like rap career and stuff like that. But he mainly, I guess, as of right now, puts out trap music, and he released his first single through Powerhouse, because we're all like best friends and like really close.
Right.
But yeah, he was in Mod 1, and then I think he took me there as a guest once, and like I was like, holy shit, like I really need to like actually do this. And then I set it up, like, you know, you do an interview with whomever there at the school. They show you the school, they like talk to you, like, are you sure this is what you want to do? At the time I was like, well, like I'm mainly producing, and like I'm starting to really like actually like think like this is what I want to do, like music, EDM production, like DJing and all that. And they're like, you know, what are you doing like right now? Like, where are you working at? Why would you want to stop working from there to eventually pursue an audio career and all that, and like, you know, like stuff like that. And then eventually I get into the school, like I meet everybody there, like, you know, you make your friends, like, you know, you get separated into group to do the group projects. You meet new people there that, because like, I mean, I don't know how it was for you, but for me, I was essentially, there was one other person I'm still in close contact with we're like really good friends. We like hang out from time to time. He works at a recording studio that wanted to get into EDM production, and I was basically the only producer, if not EDM producer, in that class. So like I was like off the bat, like, okay, I'm kind of out of my element. Everyone's like completely like into different things, like reggaeton, like either hip hop or rap and stuff like that. Not that I was against it, but I was just meeting different creative minds that I guess I never had, and that like opened me to new things and like just new perspectives on like other types of music that I already had an appreciation for, but never like thought about in depth in terms of like actually creating it and stuff like that. And then as I kind of finished the school, like you said, you kind of like realize, oh, like you've learned so much and you've gained so many like skills from learning there, not just like tech or recording or even mixing and mastering for that matter, because like mixing and mastering, like they don't really like go super in depth there with, at least at the time that I was, but they try to give you everything like that they can within a year span. And you get like video game audio, you get some like audio business lessons, you get dubbing, which is what I ended up going as for a career path, but I'll talk about that continuing on with the story.
Sure.
But when I got to that last point at Mod 4, I was like, holy shit, like I didn't go into the school thinking about a job afterwards till I was like, till the days were like counting down to your like last 10 fingers. You're like, holy shit, like I have 10 days left. What do I really want to do? Like what interests me here that can actually like translate to a job that I can do? And I talked to Frank, and Frank's like, you know, what did you like here the most that you think would be cool to do as a job? And I was like, well, I as an audio person, because I've been doing audio stuff from a like young kid and shit, like experimenting. I was like, I really enjoy it all. Like I wouldn't mind doing like an interview of this and an interview of that. And I actually got interviewed, my first ever Audio World interview, which I really wish wasn't this, because I feel like I could have I could have been interviewed a little better. I feel like I could have done much better in the interview. Was Criteria, I think. A really big recording studio.
Okay.
I think it is Criteria. I don't remember, but it's like a really big recording studio here in Miami that's been around since forever. Like even I think James Brown that they've had recorded there. They've recorded some of Lil Wayne's albums.
Oh shit.
They've recorded some big hits and big albums in that studio. Like they give you like the big tour and stuff like that. And then like when it was time to sit down and like get interviewed and like whatnot, like it was my first ever audio interview, and it was like a lot to suck in. You're like, holy shit, I'm not in school anymore. Like this is for real. And then I kind of learned from that interview as well that I wouldn't even enjoy being kind of like a slave for like whoever's in the booth and listening to like, you know, like I'm just like, all right, like I'm getting paid, but like this isn't even enjoyable, which I'll talk more about too. So after that, I got a job or I got an interview at a dubbing studio, which like, not to gloat, but like the same day they called me back and they're like, hey, if you really want to work with us, like, you know, when do you want to start? And I was like, oh, I'll put my like 2 weeks in. And that was working at a dubbing studio, which I worked at for 2 years. And there I off the bat, you learn so many things. Because I don't know if you've ever been in like a dubbing studio or like a dubbing atmosphere.
Personally, I've never, but I've met a lot of voice actors in my life.
So when you're the engineer, you kind of have the engineer, like the Pro Tools computer. That's okay. You have one screen with the recording view. And then you have another screen with the video of the show or movie that you're doing voiceover for. Okay. And then you have another screen that has the script. So as you engineer, you have to run the script for the voice actor, and you have to keep a flow. So you're like multitasking to the max there. And I don't know, I enjoyed it for a while, but you get burnt out of that so fast. And like even crazy thinking about it, I would have never even, like I was saying earlier, I would have never even expected to go down that path when I started that school. Like I went into that school just like, you know, I want to pursue audio and like this is what I want to do. And so yeah, I did that for 2 years. And in that studio, they taught me more in-depth mixing, like post-production and stuff like that. They taught me like actually how to do voiceovers like myself, like voice acting and stuff like that. I learned how to like direct as well, like direct the talent. So I wouldn't even need a director in the room. I was directing and engineering. And so it was pretty cool. I mean, like I said earlier, you get burnt out really fast, like especially when you're doing long hours. And like sometimes, like I said earlier, with the recording thing, you get like a talent that you're like, not this person, please God, no. When they're in the booth. It's the same thing in the post-production world. And I learned that as well. You know, you'll get the voice actor, because when you have like a talent or a voice actor in the booth, like there will always be conversation. You're never just there. Like at some point they'll like speak to you and stuff, or like they'll, besides like instructions, like actually make conversation. And yeah, like you learn that as well, but you get burnt from it. Like I don't know if it was because of that, and on top of that, like Pro Tools is just super boring. I grew to hate Pro Tools.
Yeah, me too.
I'm Ableton for the win.
Let's go.
I love Ableton so much that when in SAE, when they were teaching the class, Ableton, they let me like take over, because like I was like, oh, I know that question. Oh, I know that question. They're like, all right, put your hand down, teach.
Yeah, like that's dope.
Yeah, I was that guy.
yeah, bro. I love Ableton too, bro. I tried with Pro Tools, but I couldn't.
Ableton stuff. It was simple Ableton stuff, but the fact that I could do that, I was like, fuck yeah, like this is awesome. Like Ableton for the win, like spreading Ableton.
Absolutely, yeah, bro. Absolutely.
I got burnt out of it because it was just it's a lot to like work every day, and on top of that, like the pay in that industry just isn't enough, because a lot of the content that they get is foreign content. Because especially when you're dubbing, my studio had 3 departments: the Spanish, English, and they had 4: Spanish, English, Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese to be exact, and French. I started in the Brazilian Portuguese, knowing 0 Portuguese, only like Spanish and English. But they were like, "Oh, you know Spanish, so you'll just catch on." And I actually did. So I wasn't. When I was in that department though, I was an assistant engineer. So I was kind of like still being trained and like watching and also like learning the language. And eventually they moved me to the English department. And the thing about the English department is that, like I said, all the content is from foreign countries, because you're not going to dub an English USA like show or movie to English. It just wouldn't make any sense unless it's like a cartoon, you know, which we would get on the occasion. But yeah, that type of industry just doesn't have that much money. So like it sucks, but it happens. You're like, I can't do this anymore because I have to like pay my bills, like, and like take care of what I have to take care of.
That's very interesting, man.
But you know, as like you were saying, SAE changed my perspective. And like, even though I'm out of that, I can still work with what I've learned even past SAE, because SAE just kind of gave me the key to this entire like world of audio. Because audio, like I think what you and I mainly learned is that audio isn't just EDM production.
Like, nah, bro.
It's way beyond that. And even genres or music, like it's way beyond that. Acoustics was something else that you could get into once you like get out of that school, like building studios and stuff like that. It's really cool.
There's so much that you can do coming in from SAE, because they basically they actually prepare you to do everything. Like maybe you're never gonna be an audio engineer for a studio, and you may see like Pro Tools is like whatever to you, but you may end up doing like what I do, live sound, or you may end up doing like recording live bands, or you may end up doing video game trailers, you know. Like you never know. They basically give you all the tools and teach you like, this is all the stuff that you can do as an audio engineer. We're gonna show you. Even if you don't want to learn one, we're going to shove it up to you, because you never know when you can actually use one of these and then apply for a job, and then all of a sudden you're actually great at that job.
Or maybe you're like you're doing this like whole other job, and you're like, there's a problem that occurs in like the tech section, and you're like, hey, I'm also a tech guy.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can just go ahead and fix it, man. Because you were there and you told them, it's like, hey, I know how to fix this. Like, boom, there you go. It's fixed. And now they're like, holy shit, we need this guy. We need this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And funny enough, with the studio, the dubbing studio I was working at, almost every engineer was an SAE alumni.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. I was like it was me and another guy that were like the youngest there. Like he was 21 and I'm 22. Everybody else was like way older than us, but they were like alumni, and I was like, this is cool. Like some people would come in with their like SAE backpacks that they still had, and I'm like, damn, mine was nothing like that. Like, you know how they changed like the backpacks and the styles. I still have the shirt too in my closet.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, my shirt just like my body outgrow the shirt, you know.
That shirt's like going to sleep shirt now.
Yeah, basically, because that's the only time. Because every time I try to get out, like it's like you can see like my whole body stretched out and that shit. It's like, nah, you know, it's good for you to stay here. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can never find the shirt for my size, bro. And I always get mad. I was like, damn it, everybody has their own shirt except for me. Because they never have an XL.
I had to trade with someone because I was like, I don't want I think they gave me like a small. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't want a small. Yeah. And someone's like, I'll take it. And they traded with like a medium. I was like, but it's 10 out of 10. And I enjoyed my time there too. Like apart from like learning, I had a good time like being in that environment and that school.
That's good. That's good. That's actually pretty good, man. Out of SAE, when I graduated, like only I will say I stay in contact with at least 5 people. One of them is Nitty Gritty, and Nitty Gritty's business manager. He was like a month ahead of me, but we ultimately all the time together.
I know how it is. Yeah, I know how it is. Do you happen to know Dubway by any chance? The name Dubway?
I can't say I have, man.
So they're another. I think they're still a duo. I talked to their main producer. His name is Phil, and he was a class before me. And I remember when I was in Mod 1, he was getting like his tour that they gave him around the school. And he was wearing like a Disciple shirt, like the label.
Oh, shit, for real?
And I was like, yo, nice shirt. Like, whoever the fuck you are. I was like, yo, nice shirt. Like, that shit's awesome. And I just like walked away. And then like a month later, he was in the first mod and I was in Mod 2. And after that, like, I would just be hanging out like after like, school. Like, we just rent a studio together. And like, it would just... that type of stuff. Yeah, I keep in touch with, like you said, 5.
Yeah, bro, like 5 people, like 2 above me, probably 1 or 2 from my same course class, and then 1 and 2 before me or after me. Yeah. Like,
I want to say for me, it's been like maybe 3, like on my class, maybe 4, maybe, and then 1 below me.
Yeah, but it's not that many because like at least unless we made a connection, unless like we hook up and you know we're buddies and
that's
we talk.
That's how it is at that school.
Yeah, like anybody else, like yo, shout out to you, man. Like you made it or whatnot. But yeah, my inner circle was like around those people, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually the truth of the matter is my inner circle was about that big too when I was in that school.
Yeah,
it was like not that big. Everybody else that graduates that you can really like talk to or like even follow or keep up with, like, man, they just become a ghost.
Yeah, basically. And sometimes I have some of those guys in my Facebook, and I once in a while peek around and see what they're doing, and some of them they're doing what they went to school for. So it's like, yo, kudos, man, kudos. And then the others that, well, they still graduated with me, but they're not doing what they went to school for. So I was like, damn, that sucks, man. I wish you could have actually done what you went to school for, you know?
Wanted to. Yeah.
But it's like you said earlier, you know, some of these guys, you know, they come in, say like, oh, I just need studio time and I just need to learn this and that. And, you know, I'll be the hottest rapper or producer ever, you know, and shit, blah, blah, blah. And 9 times out of 10 never happens.
I will say, speaking of the studio, I think one of my favorite, I don't know if it ever happened to you, but it happened to me and my friends that made EDM, like my 2 friends in that school that made EDM. When you're like in a studio and like it doesn't really matter which one. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're producing dubstep or like anything EDM and you're blasting it, everybody would just be in there like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, everyone there's usually making hip hop beats and you're just there like sound designing like a bass. They're just like, what the hell? I would show everyone Serum and they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're like automatically the science, like the rocket scientist of the class.
Yeah, it has happened to me once or twice, you know, because at least in my course, and it was between me and Nitty. We were like probably the only ones that were into EDM out of everybody who was into different genres, mostly hip hop and rap, you know, and everybody was you know, that could spit bars, you know, but nobody was that into EDM except for me and Nitty. And it was only me and Nitty that we go back and forth with the feedbacks. You know, he sent me some stuff, I listen to it, I say it's always dope, which is he never fails. True. I send some stuff. He gives me feedback and he tells me like, "Oh, just do this and that, and it'll sound even perfect. Sidechain this and sidechain that." And
I do the same thing to my boys.
Yeah, bro. That's pretty much it because I didn't have anybody. It was all hip hop, so I could never ask, especially some of the professors. I couldn't ask their opinions or feedback because these professors were more into that whole like, reggaeton scene or that Latin scene or salsa or the hip hop.
Urbano.
Yeah.
Right now it's urbano.
Yeah. Música urbano.
Yeah. I'm like, just say Spanish trap or reggaeton. Just continue on. You don't need to make another subgenre. Cough, rhythm, cough.
Yeah, bro.
Which, I mean, it's a subgenre now, I guess, but shade out there.
What's going on, everyone? If you guys made it all the way to the end of the episode and you feel kind of left out, like why didn't the episode finish? Like, don't worry, guys. It's okay. The episode was way too big for me to put it in just one episode that I had to divide the episode because there was so many good content and so many good topics and discussions that it cannot be discussed under one episode, but had to divide it so we can always have brand new episodes with brand new topics every Friday. Always remember that. So be sure to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and of course the YouTube channel at lonewolfpod.com. That's right, lonewolfpod.com, where you can check all my latest episodes. And always remember to comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experiences. If you guys got a certain topic that you want me to cover for the next episode, please let me know on the comments down below, and I'll do my best to do so. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Deuces.